You're gonna love the video you're about to watch. I do a deep dive into my blood work, which you're gonna see, my live blood, that shows me everything that I need to know about how to take my health to the next level. So I have Doug Grant, who you will see has done this for many, many years. He looks into my blood, he shows me some things that I can improve, and I've now given him the opportunity to help me improve those things. So enjoy the video.
Now we're going to see what it looks like live. Two different things. There's wet blood, where it's live, exactly just how it looks in your body right now, and we can look at the dynamics of the body and your frequency and what's going on, and then we take it to the lab and count, right? So much cholesterol, so many enzymes, those types of things. Two different worlds, but it's great to have both to collaborate. Then you really understand how healthy are you at the cell level, because that's really the key, right? Because the individual cell relates to the whole body, and that's why we want to be able to do both when we can. Not everyone has that ability.
But Doug Grant does.
You have to have access to a microscope and that. And I think that the key is to understand is that the individual cell, red blood cell in the body, lives to be 120 days. Okay, as humans, we are programmed to be able to live to be 120 years. Now, very few make that, right? But that's our program.
Right.
So the cell's a microcosm of the whole body. We eat, we breathe, right? We eliminate waste, so does the cell. Everything your whole body does, it does at the cell level. You have trillions of them, but each one is that microcosm. So if we look at the health of the cell, again, we look at the health of the whole body. Ready?
Yep.
Let's go. Wipe away that first little drop. Let me get that next other one up there. That's it.
That's it.
Put some pressure on it, and we'll put it on the slide.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous to do this.
Nothing touches the blood, but because we want to be able to get really deep on this, we use a special type of lens, a Zeiss lens, that we have to do an oil immersion. So we put a little oil on the slide. The oil never touches the blood, right? It's on top. It's just so we can get really deep and see some intricate factors with the blood itself. So here we go.
It's moving fast.
This is you. These are your red blood cells. Right? They call them erythrocytes. And we want them to be round. We want them to be free-flowing. We don't want them to be stuck together.
Like those two were?
So there's a few that are bumping. They can bump,
yeah.
But we don't want them stuck together. So you've got good free-flowing blood there, right? The one thing we want to do is right now your blood's already better than most people because most people's blood isn't free-flowing.
What'd you say? Say that again?
That your blood's already better than most. Most people's blood is really clumped together. Really clumped where you can't move. But what we want to do is we want to make sure we also clear up the extracellular fluid, the fluid outside of the cell. So this individual cell, it takes nutrients and oxygens to the tissue, pulls waste out, and we want to be able to have its environment be as clean as possible, right? So in this environment, it's pretty good, but we have a few things in here, a little bit of platelet aggregation, a few things that we want to clean up. That just as we get older, we get a little accumulation, and so we'll want to make sure we're doing cleansing on the daily basis, right? That we're either taking enzymes between meals to clean the blood, or once in a while do a fast, different things like that, just to keep the blood clean, especially as we get above 45, it's a must, because we got to focus on keeping the environment clean, just like our environment outside of the body, we want to keep clean. So we're going to scan around and see what we want to do here.
So just so you know, so Doug and I are going to go through a protocol with me to, I want to be an experiment, literally. At the age of 60, I want to see how much I can improve this. And this is really getting to the nitty gritty. So we're launching a program, we're doing this stuff together in an effort to bring this information and this technology and this ability to change yourself to you, right? This was all about. So I'm going in first. I lead from my feet, not from the seat. If he tells me do X, I'm doing X. He already asked me to stop drinking. What did I do? Stop drinking. So whatever we find in here, I'm gonna, I remember one time I spoke and they had my magazine cover up there and I said, I look great on the outside, but I don't know what's going on the inside. I could be a piece of trash, but it finds out I'm not necessarily that bad.
Yeah.
So now I can see what is going on the inside.
Absolutely. And so we're going to work to clean up a little bit of this platelet aggregation that we're seeing here.
Thank you.
Yeah, what are those dark purple dots?
So that is,
It's going well.
when we have, you get cut, you want your body not to bleed out, right?
Right.
And so we have platelets. Now, that's important, but we don't want platelets built up in the blood. And that's what we are seeing a little bit here. But it's,
Kevin, stay here for this question before you go. I got another question. It's a good one. Oh, I was going to ask him to see any steroid signs.
Is that what you're asking? Can you see that on blood?
Any, yeah.
Can I
that's
see
what,
that?
so we've already done we've done your blood from the lab, we've done your analysis with you, and we've done my blood, right? And I've been doing this for over 30 years. International Olympic Committee called in everywhere in the world, and called to Russia to check people to see, if they were doping or not. And you're clean. So
Say that again.
no steroids.
Let's go, people. No TRT, no TOT, no PHP, no PCP, no KGB.
All right, so this is a white blood cell. This white blood cell is called a neutrophil. It's the most popular white blood cell in the body. Its job is to go out and act like a jellyfish, to go in and clean up the blood, right? And so it's a good guy. You can see it moving. Do you see it moving here? You can see little movements here. It's reaching out. Do you see that little crystal?
Yep.
It's grabbing it, and if you had time, it's going to engulf it. See how it's engulfing it?
Yep.
And that crystal will disappear. So it's a process called phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is where the phagocyte, the white blood cell, takes the things that aren't supposed to be there in the blood and engulfs them and digests them. So see how that's gone now?
Yep.
It's already engulfed in there. And so that means you have a strong immune system. We want your white blood cells to do that. Some people's white blood cells just sit there. They don't move much. So the body has to make more white blood cells because the ones that they got aren't doing the job, right? So you'd rather have someone that's extremely good at what they do versus 10 that aren't. Same thing, and it costs the body a lot of energy to make additional white blood cells. So we want to make sure your white blood cells are active, that they're healthy.
So are mine?
Yes, absolutely. And that comes down to certain nutrients. So our body runs on glucose, right? And energy. White blood cells run a lot on B vitamins. The thyroid runs on iodine, right? Every organ and tissue in the body, it prefers something. The gut prefers glutamine. And so once we know which organ or tissue, what they prefer, we can see what's going on and look at deficiencies. So in your case, I know that when we do your blood, your lab blood, and count numbers, the thing that we actually make recommendations from, that your B vitamin levels will be fine. And I think they were, right? But we can see that because the white blood cells are strong. So to do a before and after, there are some things that we're going to work on. Here's one of them. So this is a crystal. This is a crystal. It has cholesterol crystals in it. You can't see it too well out here, but it's yellow under the microscope. Cholesterol crystals. We're going to work on reducing the cholesterols in the blood, and this is what happens. If this took up, 20 screens, which it doesn't, then, we'd be like, oh, we're worried about too many crystals starting to clog up, to cause a backup, which then we got issues, right? Everyone has some crystals. We just want to get in there and make sure the body's breaking them down. And so that's what we're going to do with you, is work to clean the blood up so that we don't see something like this again in it. Because your blood's healthy, you got good flow. We just, a lot of times because of age, we start to build up a few things we got to get in and cleanse out. We got to constantly cleansing the body. That's the key.
How much of this cholesterol is inherited compared to lifestyle? I think everything is inherited to some degree, but... Yeah,
and so there's two types of people. One is ones that naturally, genetically have higher cholesterol, but they live long, healthy lives, and others that don't. I'm a naturally higher cholesterol person, so are you. And so our numbers, we allow a little bit higher. It's just genetically, that's who we are. And it's okay as long as we know that, and then we monitor it from there. And in your case, the only other thing we're going to work on is you'll see how some of these on this one part of the slide are a little bit misshapen.
Yep.
If they don't have the amount of phytonutrients or antioxidants they need, a lot of times they'll lose their shape. So the thinner the cell lining, the less round it is. It starts to lose its shape, like a wet paper sack. So we want to increase your phytonutrients a little bit. We know we're going to do a little bit of cleansing in the blood. I think we'll probably bring in some peptides to help a little bit. just for the ability to recover a little faster, like when we're younger. And so the combination of your awesome diet, your awesome workout schedule, consistency over the years, which already blows most people away, your nutrient levels based on your blood. We're going to add in a few extra little things, right? Just a couple little, the secrets we use only with the professional athletes and the top CEOs to really optimize the blood so that your cells are just as strong and healthy as fit as the outside as your body is. So this one's not going to be a tough process because
I love this. I have one other question. Is my blood better than Russell Brunson's?
The answer is no.
Let's go! Way better.
He's been on the program for about 2 years. So the thing about Russell's is every one of his cells were completely round. And so the thickness of the cell lining was stronger. But remember, he's been dialing in his nutrients based on his blood for 2 years. So anytime there was any adjustment that needed to be made, we made it immediately. And we came in and was able to do that. And so
Mine are round and plump. Yours look like they have abs. So I don't know.
So the next logical question then for me, since he beat me in the awesomeness of his blood, did Russell Brunson hire the right 60-year-old person to represent this unfair advantage based on that blood?
Hey, you're the perfect guy because most people out there need help with both the cell level and also the physical side of it, right? And on the physical side of it, you've got that mastered, and you're already way ahead on the internal side than most Americans. It's just fine-tuning based on data, and that's the difference that the Unfair Advantage program brings, is to be able to fine-tune the body internally based on true data, and you're able to track it over time.
There you go. Unfair.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's good.